Stop coming, please. All right, go on to class, Mariah. Hold on just a minute, my other two ladies. Please stop coming. I shouldn't have to say that every few moments. What? Social studies folder. Sorry. There's that. All right, my friends, get out your social studies folder, okay? Social studies folder. Nobody is on Zoom this morning. Which is weird. Normally Megan and Jackson would already be here. Share screen. Waiting for the slow computer to catch up. And I do put an emphasis on slow. Well, let me go ahead and get Class Dojo caught up. Have a seat, Joanne. we go. Kimber, have you given me blue folders already? Had you given me blue folders already? Got it? You know the one? Nope, that's topic one. Topic two. For today, I'm giving you guys the papers you're gonna need. But for tomorrow, you guys are gonna need the packet. Right? I'm giving you guys a folder and you're gonna put it in. You have to folder. And the set of things like you. J-O capital A or little a? Okay, so these all my friends in your folder. Where's your folder? By giving you folders, came back to birth. That's topic one. We're on topic two, and I'm pretty certain you've done social studies before, haven't you? Yes, which means your folder. I've given you a folder. Blue folder. What is it?
I have topic two.
This is your brown paper bag that you picked up. What's this like? You had this one. You had this. Yes, that's what we're doing. That right there. So we had this one. This. We'll get rid of that, put it on top three, but right now. right, so I'm making a list of everybody. Okay. All right. You have a blue folder. Okay. The fact that dry erase gets permanent marker off until you don't ever sniff dry erase markers, right? You're that strong. I told you they're toxic, right? Very toxic.
Wait, dry erase markers can erase?
Dry erase markers take off permanent markers.
It's like,
They are permanent marker erasers.
yes.
Well,
Yeah, no, there are
you'll see that, right?
Ta-da.
Her name has been on it for over a year and a half. Like that. It would work better if her name was freshly written, but it's not.
I don't think it's regular.
This looks nicer and neater. As it's written out. All right, those of you who just got a folder, who have a packet, later on, I'll hole punch it, but right now I need to get to the teaching part. We're gonna have extra time at the end of class where I'll have time to hole punch it today, okay? Okay, I can't believe nobody has come into my Zoom. That is different. Okay, so do you guys I'm about to figure it out. Do you guys happen to recall oh, we forgot to fix this part. This little table that we did before? Okay, so I have this, and to make life easier on you, so that you have the chart in front of you, and you don't have to keep on looking back and forth, you're going to copy this, and that'll make an extra social studies grade. I have a lot of students who need to bring up their social studies grade. Mostly it's my kiddos who have been virtual. I can tell you specifically a couple of my kiddos who have gone from virtual back to physical school, which is what we call it when you're actually physically in a classroom, that are in here. It doesn't affect them. But other students that are in here really need to get that social studies grade up. All right. This is an easy way to get that grade up because you're literally taking this and you're copying that into this side of your table. All right. We've already done the work together before. You're copying it so you have it there. Okay. I'm about to hand it to you. Okay. This looks really small. So I decided to give it to you like this. Have you seen this in her class? This is called a single paragraph outline. Remember how I've given you the topics in this before? And I told you to come up with at least 3 detailed sentences on your own? And there's concluding sentence. It's the same thing, just in an easier to follow format. The same thing you've already had to do before. It's great, have a rough morning. Okay, it's the same thing. It's an easier to follow format for you guys. And a whole bunch of ink out of my printer. It cost me money because I didn't do this at the school. That's why it actually came out like it's supposed to. Instead of rewritten print. Okay. I did this to help all of you guys. All right. It's the same format that she uses in ELA. I'm trying to keep things the same over here to make it easier for you guys to learn. Okay. All right. So this is why I say you not having your folder today or not having your packet today isn't such a bad thing because I come with like 1,000 copies and multiple dead trees worth of here. Okay. Oh, you didn't see all the copies over there in my window? I worked for 7 hours yesterday getting ready for today.
Are those good copies?
It's copies from me, it's copies from Daniels, it's copies from Renitas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of copies, I guess.
All right, so I'm going to pass this out. When you get it, put your name on the top and see how it got turned sideways in the copier. Yeah. Name on top, first and last name.
She was pretty.
I don't know why you are turning the west. This is the northeast. Not in the west yet. Oh. It's okay. Yeah.
Do you want us to put our last name?
Yes, first and last name. I'll make it better. First and last name on this, okay? First and last name. Okay, so at the top, I know you don't have a lot of room. So what you could do is kind of write it sideways like this. Seafood. Okay. And then impact on the economy. Lobsters account. For 220 million. Of course, you have the dollar sign right there. Annually for this region. It's okay if you don't write as fast as me. I'm trying to show you how I'm using up the space in my box. Okay. You see how I use up the space? Here it is typed, so it's probably easier for you to read it typed. Am I right? Don't worry about this. This is something different. You don't need to worry about all this stuff, okay? Don't worry about that bottom part. Seafood, lobsters account for $220 million. Don't forget that dollar sign. Annually for this region. What is it, Michaela? Then remove where you can. We've talked about this daily, right? Yes, move. Take your paper and move where you need to. There's a marker out because the marker on the floor during the computer play. While you guys are copying, I'm gonna go around and hole punch. Very nice. Really, tell me about Julia. Okay. Ready? All right, anybody else need their hole punch right now? They have their packet, but they don't have it. You can all right, keep writing. You got all those copies. Find your way. It's not out. Not out. what? Rapid test? Lost is out of rapid test.
So my sister did the rapid test. She didn't do the virus test. The rapid test.
I was testing for something else. I'm still waiting for mine.
Oh, I hate this.
Usually these make paper, furniture, fuel, and maple syrup. Try it. Try it. All right, guys, get this coffee. The very last one is seaports. Deep water ports allow ships in for worldwide shipping. That's the very last one. The very last one is seaports. You don't do anything below it. Bless you. Yeah, keep that down. Yeah. still copying this? Okay.
We've already done.
Yes, I'm aware. That's what I started off the lesson with, Michaela. This is easy points. That's also what I started off with. Yes, Michaela. What is it?
I was just searching.
All right. Here's our next page where it says name, first and last, date. Put the date on it. The date is on the board. I'll share that copy. Go back to see. Writing evolution.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who's still copying? Who's still copying this? Everybody's finished? Okay. So I was just told everybody's finished with it. Here are the two resources that were used to come up with that chart. It shows fur. Do you remember what these are right here? What are those? No, what is right here? What is in this place right here?
Lumber.
Look at the map on the wall. What is in this place right here? It's the reason those animals are there. What is in that place? It's why it has that irregular line. Instead of being straight lines, it's got an irregular line.
Lumber.
Water, what water? What are those things called? The what? Those aren't seaports. What are these? What is up here, guys? Look, this state right here is New York. Right, what is right to this spot in New York? Look on my map. What is right there? Gives that irregular coastline. Yeah, what is that? All those 5 things called? This water. These things, what are those things called? Great Lakes, guys. The Great Lakes. Why would there be animals right along those?
Water.
Because there's water. What do animals need to survive?
Water.
Water.
What
And,
everyone
That's what everything needs. And those animals are going to eat other animals and plants that grow alongside the water. Come on, we got to be thinking. You got to think through things. Okay? So these animals are going where the water is. And those are Great Lakes along the coastline. The coastline isn't of ocean, but of the Great Lakes. And right here, look on the map, or on the map key. What does it say those trees mean?
Lumber.
Lumber. So those are trees used for
Lumber. Timber. Furniture.
timber, furniture, what else?
Maple syrup. Maple syrup.
Paper, maple syrup. Yes, we're not just guessing this stuff out of the air. All right, so
Paper.
right here are what?
Seaport.
Seaports, and those are along the ocean, correct? Then the seafood is along the coastline with the ocean, correct? I'm betting there's also seafood coming off the Great Lakes too, but they don't have that designated there. And then here is a little stripe of energy at the top of the Appalachian Mountains. Okay. Now, as a reminder, let's go through the paragraphs. Wow, it's blurry. Northeast region of the United States is the oldest and earliest center for manufacturing. It has deep water ports, allows the region to ship its manufactured goods around the world. Much of the region has rocky soil, so is it good for farming? No. It says it has a lot of what other kind of thing going on though in the next sentence.
I don't even know where you are.
After agriculture, the next sentence it talks about what?
Along the electric.
They don't have good farming, but they have what?
Fishing.
Fishing, because they have a lot of coastline.
Yeah.
Okay. Then it says in Vermont, one of the main industries is lumber. Lumber for houses, furniture, paper, fuel, and maple syrup. Last paragraph, at the end of the Appalachian Mountains in Pennsylvania, energy, which we see that in the map. Oil, natural gas, and coal. Energy is used to power businesses and homes around the region. Another industry is found in this region is the fur industry. We see those along the Great Lakes. They use those to make shoes and coats. Okay, so that's where we got the information to fill in that table. And all I did was print out that table for you to copy. And Michaela, I'm going to say this again, like I told you at the beginning of class. Yes, we've done that before. You copied that so that some people who need to bring their grades up can get an easy grade to bring their grade up. Did you hear it that time? Okay. All right. if this slide will come up. It'd be great if the computer could, you know, go to the next slide. There we go. It actually moved that time. All right, source 4, the people of the Northeast. I'll read the first paragraph and I'll call on somebody to read the second. The Northeast region was one of the first areas within the United States to be settled. When they say settled, who are they meaning by? Them who?
The people that are probably in
Guys, when they're saying settled, they're talking about Europeans. There were people here before the Europeans. Who was here before the Europeans? Native Americans were here first. Okay, so when they say one of the first areas to be settled, they're talking about by Europeans coming here. Okay. Most of the states within the Northeast region were part of the original 13 colonies of the United States. Since the region has rocky soil, it made it very difficult for the people of the region to farm. New technologies from England allowed the region to become an economic powerhouse as they focused on producing and manufacturing goods from the resources from other regions around the country. Bryson, second paragraph. No, it's up there. Starts with today, the Northeast. You're going to speak up. How much of it? Yes. Can y'all hear him, Michaela? No, speak up. Northeast. Okay, I need you guys to sit perfectly still, and I need Bryson to speak up. Densely populated. So what is the most crowded area of the United States? Sit up. What is the most the most crowded area of the U.S.? The Northeast region. Aaliyah, I need you paying attention. What is the most crowded area of the United States, Aaliyah? What is it? What is the most crowded area of the United States? I'll give you a hint. What region are we talking about? It's big and it's in green. Come on, my dear. What is the most crowded area of the United States? Melanie, help her out. What is it, Aaliyah? Say it for us. We're going to be stuck here for a long time if you can't answer me. Come on, Aaliyah. What is the most crowded area of the United States? Is it the South? What's the most densely crowded area of the United States this year? Guys, be still. What is it, Aaliyah? The North what? Northeast. Good job. Keep going, Bryson.
Teachers and students, please excuse this interruption for a quick announcement. Teachers, I'm going to ask, I know we have a lot of new students today. If they do not know their bus number, they do not know what bus they're riding home, would you please email Mr. Drain that child's name? That way, at the end of the day, he can have a list of students so he'll know how to address that. So please, if you have any students that today's their first day and they don't know how they're getting home, please email that to Mr. Drain ASAP. Thank you.
Blessings on poor Mr. Drain today. I'll saw him running down the hallway a few minutes ago, right? There's a lot of middle schoolers. Today's their first day on campus. All right.
Yeah, because on Friday they're doing virtual, aren't they?
Yes, but today's your first visit today. All right, let's keep going with these cities. No. These. Oh, yep, you're right. Many of these cities.
Many of these cities within this region are some of the largest cities
In the region, nation, yeah. Megalopolis. Megalopolis. Mega city. Fuse. They fuse. All right, so which cities are so close that they kind of make one big city, Kaylee? Guys, I need y'all paying attention because you're going to have a really hard time writing your paragraph in a few minutes since you weren't paying attention to the reading. If you can't hear a person reading out loud, then you need to be reading along with them silently, not looking around the room, dazing off. And you don't have it on your paper. Which cities are located close to each other, and so they make one big city? Literally, you can get on a bus and go from one to the next to the next. Allie, which cities are so close together they kind of merge together to make one city? It's on the paper. Or I should say PowerPoint.
Oh, I can't really see it.
Get closer.
Washington, D.C. Boston?
Yeah. Philadelphia.
New York?
Yes. This one. Between Boston and Philadelphia on paper. New York, Boston, Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. are close to each other, so they fuse to make one big city. Guys, Aaliyah, I don't know what you're coloring. I've got multiple people not paying attention. Bryson read aloud, and I had students who were literally looking around the room, not paying attention. And then when it comes time to write the paragraph, you're not going to know what you're doing. I can't do it for you. You've got to do your part by paying attention.
I'm gonna hear, so I'll go back and write it.
You got to stop making noise. All right. So we've done this part, which is easy points. Now we're going to do writing revolution. Topic sentence. So the question you're asked is describe how the characteristics of the Northeast region has impacted the population of the region. So, do you remember when we did the Southeast, it really asked about the natural resources, didn't it? And if we look at, you remember how my LED board is always where the state tells us what they want us to learn, right? So if we look at what they really want us to know, how do physical characteristics, that's those physical features, which leads to natural resources, how do those things shape its economic development? And then how does economic development shape the population? How does it impact the population? Okay. And I wrote that on the board over there. How does physical characteristics of a region affect its economic development and population? So that's our prompt. So I'm going to take that prompt and rewrite it into the topic sentence. Your name is here. I guess I need to get this on screen so you can see what I'm doing. Your name is here, right? So I'm going to take that prompt and rewrite the prompt. Natural resources. And I'm going to list out the natural resources that are in your charts. So, in comma, such as seafood, and I'm going to put them in the same order too. Seafood, lumber, coal, fur, and seaports. And notice I did not use an abbreviation. Why didn't I use an abbreviation?
Because it's not a paragraph.
Because it is a paragraph. And seaports impact, and you're not supposed to use abbreviations in a paragraph, the Northeast region. Then I'm going to take something that I thought was interesting from that the passage we just read, which is the country's most densely, what? Yes, most densely populated region. And you see I ran out of room, so I'm neatly writing it on the side. It's still neatly done. Okay? Because the person grading it needs to be able to read this, correct?
Yes, which is you.
Mm-hmm. All right. If you run out of room, guess what, friends? You have a backside. So, on your number one sentence, if you run out of space, you're going to flip to the back of your page. And you're going to put a number one there, and you're going to continue your number one sentence. But you have to number it, because I'm not playing an Easter egg hunt, and I'm not playing a guessing game. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
But I purposely listed these out so you know to go back to your chart. Got it? This should make your paragraph pretty darn easy to write. Am I right? Okay, so I need minimum 3 sentences telling me about those natural resources. Then your concluding sentence can tell me about how those resources make the country, I'm sorry, make the region crowded. Okay, does that make sense? Because there's a lot of people there. Why do you think there's so many people there? Why are there a lot of people in that region, guys?
Because all of that.
Because of all the jobs there, because of all the natural resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your concluding sentence needs to be something about all of these things mean lots of jobs, which means there's a large population there. Make sense? Does everybody understand? Okay. Your concluding sentence, Bryson, needs to say that these three resources, whatever three you choose, mean that there's lots of jobs. And all those jobs mean that it's so much economic opportunity. If you need to know how to spell it on the board, economic. Because of that, there's a large population. Got it? Okay, get to it. And you guys have plenty of time to write this.
Do you want it to be our best handwriting?
I want to be able to read it.
Oh, yes.
Guys, what you can do is take the stuff we put in the chart and make sentences out of what's in the chart. Yes,
Just 3 sentences.
yes. Make your own sentences out of it. Okay. All right. Or you can go back to the original source content. And I'm going to go back to the screen that has the source content. And I'll try to enlarge it a little bit. If my computer will switch screens, it would be fabulous. Oh, this poor thing. PowerPoint not responding. Well, in theory, I would go back, but my poor computer says I don't think so. Oh, there it goes. Wow, it did make the switch. Yeah, right. Zoom. Wrong one. Today. Here we go. Zoom. Today. It'd be great. It'd be fabulous. Okay, so there is the original source material on the economy. Now it's not responding. You know, it's just sitting there. If you need to get closer, you can. Just don't call. Okay, so I'm going to give you a piece of notebook paper for you to copy that onto, so you can actually write it as a paragraph. Okay, so this you'll want to write your name on. Let me remind you that a paragraph is written like this. And don't make fun of my words, but I'm just trying to get something down. Just hold on. Writing. Just writing. A paragraph. Just showing how you do how sentences fit online. Okay. No, look, indents. Wherever the period stops, the next sentence begins. Then the next sentence begins. Y'all understand that? Because a lot of children forget that part. Even though you read books all the time, you forget that. You still have a topic sentence. You still have your detail sentences.
and you still have a concluding sentence. Okay, let me say this again. On your outline, we did the topic sentence together. Then you're writing 3 detail sentences. Your detail sentences can come from your chart, but they have to be written as a complete sentence. Then you have to write a concluding sentence. Your concluding sentence needs to say something about how those resources that you just wrote about bring jobs, which means people. It's what gets the people there. That's how you get your population up. Okay, that's what your concluding sentence needs to talk about. That way you're tying all of this back to this, the population. It does. You need to worry about the word. That's it. Okay, everybody get a piece of paper. Okay. Bless you. What are you doing, Ricardo?
turn it off just for
Yeah, it's fine.
training?
Yeah, it's fine. FYI, this is worth 8 points. Guys, look up. Look up, everybody. This is worth 8 points. This is worth 10 points. This is gonna be worth 6 points. Okay,
Can I find more than 4 points?
okay. So. Division with this. This is your largest part. All right. Everybody except for the one person who didn't rewrite her stuff, got to full 8 points. I had one person who didn't rewrite her part. Everybody else got to full 8 points. Check was that I saw that you did the work. One person only did one of her work. Yeah, I know it's cold, but it's really warm. That's why I slowed this down a lot. Because it's so funny that you guys be able to crank out paragraph 5 minutes. I slowed it down pretty much for doing the paragraph thing. I gave y'all what was making that right. What they want. My what? Oh, what?
Doctors wear uncomfortable pants. The plastic.
In past years, more than original. So, all you colored look, dressy, I'll wear a dressy shirt with it. Or kind of wear. But we had to pay $100 for it. Half the year, so we used to have to be the first one to pay for teachers. Yeah, well, yeah, I'd be there. I'd be straight up there.
We paid $5. You lucky?
How many times can you not wear jeans? There. All right, guys, continue, okay? Rest is on the sides here with the leaf. Gotta do the paper one. Or 6 points. Keep saying. Because that's an outline. That's why I was showing you this. That's why I showed you this. What you did was an outline where you had it each on its own paper, its own line. But a real paragraph, where one sentence ends, the next one begins. Okay. What? That's what I just explained. It must be biologically related to me somehow. gotta have more than one detailed sentence. You only have one written, you gotta have two more detailed sentences. And then you have to have concluding sentence. You only got one detailed sentence so far.
No, I know that, but I don't know if it's a good
Read it. Is it a full, complete idea? Spend a lot of time with that one sentence. You gotta work on two more. And it's concluding sentence. What is it? I don't know, but you gotta get two more detailed sentences. You only have one detailed sentence. Joanna, pull your mask up, baby. There you go. I know, it's falling.
Okay, so for my virtual friends, what I had my students do was use the topic sentence that I gave them, which I'm not sure. Yeah, I did not give you guys the topic sentence. So I'm going to verbally give you the topic sentence. Natural resources such as seafood, lumber, coal, fur, and seaports impact the Northeast region, which is the most densely populated region in our country. I'm going to repeat it. Natural resources such as lumber, coal, fur, and seaports impact the Northeast region, which is the most densely populated region in our country. I'm going to, hold on. Come on, Zoom. Share screen. Share. I'm going to type it on here temporarily so you guys can see this. Natural resources such as seafood, lumber, coal, fur, and seaports impact the Northeast region, which is the most densely populated region in our country. Okay, so that is your topic sentence that I gave my students. Remember to indent, staple it, my stapler's right over there. Remember to indent it, then use your chart that is on your slide 24 to come up with at least 3 more detailed sentences And then your concluding sentence should state something along the lines of these resources give lots of jobs, which means there is a very large population in this region. Something along those lines that links the resources in the Northeast to the large population in the Northeast. That is what your concluding sentence should state. I need this to be a good paragraph. Due to the nature of the difference in virtual versus physical class, my students have their two parts of the paragraph broken down into two stages. Theirs is broken down into an outline, and then their paragraph, the 2 grades of which total 16 points. Your paragraph is going to be 16 points, just as one grade. That comes from this slide 26. Make sure your paragraph is flawless. It's 16 points. You don't want to make a bad grade on something when it's worth so many points, my friends. Okay? Let's get this right. Let's make it well done. Okay? I need this as soon as possible. 24, slide 24. I need you to give me a copy of this. This is worth 8 points. This slide, your paragraph, again, paragraph is going to be worth 16 points. If you would like, you can submit a photo of slides 24 and 26 via email or via private message on Class Dojo. Okay, friends? All right, I'm going to conclude this and post this on YouTube in the next few minutes. Saying bye from Miss Vandiver. See you guys later.
Yeah, this one.